Hello friends, welcome back to a new episode of Road to Rank 1 as our road, as always, continues, the never-ending road to Rank 1. Today we're starting against a Protoss player whose MMR I sadly missed, so I can't enlighten you all when it comes to that. But we're currently 6,631 MMR ourselves, which is higher than we've been in the past. It's not the highest that we've ever touched here in Road to Rank 1, but it's on the right way. I feel pretty comfortable in all my matchup. I feel like I've been saying this in the past 3-4 weeks, and I've also been winning a lot in the past 3-4 weeks. So yeah, I'm actually kind of ready for this. I feel like if I just play 4 or 5 games, you know, we might touch some 6,660, something like that. 6,670. I do have to admit that starting on a 1-gate map is not the ideal way to start it. I'm not so great in PvP on these maps. I do have some tricks up my sleeve, but they are what they are, and they are just tricks. And don't feel super solid or anything like that. Now I'm going to attack this probe for a little bit, so is my opponent attacking my probe. We both want to block each other's nexus. And I'm going to get a faster cybernetic score, the way that it seems, at least for now. Yep, my cybernetic score is a lot quicker even. I'm going to continue chasing that probe around. Start a zealot. That's a very late chrono. I also think relatively late in the gas there, so that means that the plan indeed was to throw a nexus down. Did not quite succeed in that, so that makes me happy. Probably will still want to cancel that zealot and get something else down there. A faster nexus, probably, yes. Probably, yes. So we're just going to be blocking that with our probe. Okay, this bad boy is out. Now we have to wait. What are we seeing here? What are we seeing here? Okay. Oh, I lost my worker. That's actually kind of bad. I do not condone that type of behavior usually, losing workers. Maybe I can stop this bad boy from actually blocking my position. Oh, I also kill it. So we get our own little nexus. And we can set another worker across the map, just because I really want to know what the first unit is going to be. My opponent probably also wants to know what my first unit is going to be. And we'll actually follow this up with a very quick pylon as well. Need to be somewhat careful. There could be an adept coming out, but I think... Oh, no, it actually is an adept. Okay, so I won't get any info. I'm going to send this around because I really need the info. It's actually quite bad now that I don't have the info. I also don't have that much money, so I need to be extremely careful here. But yeah, me skipping my first unit after the cybernetic score is quite good for me, especially because my opponent went for an adept. See what it is? Okay, it's a phoenix. Means I just have more money right now. It means I simply have more money. I don't need to continue on with this charade either. Sending in that zealot is completely useless. Ooh, my opponent does the same thing. That means I probably get a kill here. A free zealot kill. And I might actually end up being kind of okay for me this entire early game. Up, double lifts is a necessity, of course. Can't really help it. Going to get a second gas already at this point, as well as a second Stargate. So not too many chrono boost here on the Phoenix. Don't really feel like I need that. Just going to send this Zealot around once again. Now, at this point, it is actually quite tricky. Phoenix versus Phoenix is one of my least favorite types of matchups, because everything comes down to micro. And my Phoenix versus Phoenix micro isn't that great, honestly. So yeah, we're in a little bit of trouble. I'm chrono boosting my workers, because often getting a Phoenix 5 seconds faster doesn't matter that much, but if you have a little more money, eventually you just end up with way more units. You can start mining your gas a little bit quicker as well. So yeah, it generally feels quite good. Just going to leave the Zealot over here as well. I want to get some vision in my main base so he can't just fly in easily. I also need to make sure at some point that Phoenixes are still being produced. So I mean, why not right now? Need to figure it out at some point, no? Here we go. Wait. There's no double gas there. That is somewhat suspicious, isn't it? How many is that? That was 5. Yeah, we're going to make our way across the map in that case. He's all the way over here already? Surely that's a mistake. What? Okay, I lost this game. What? Ah, man. I really thought my opponent was playing something different. That fort gas being late and the fact that I only saw 5 phoenixes or so. Did I just completely miscount that? Ah. That was a good trick, actually. Splitting off the phoenixes. Yeah, I was up 3 workers. I had way faster gas. I had more gas in general. That adept really cut into my opponent's ability to get a lot of stuff out. 6-5 MMR, probably DNS, I would imagine. Sucks that I lost that game, but not the end of the world. We're just gonna try again and hit the search button once more. Exact same opponent here on Glittering Ashes, 6-5 again, so at least we can take some of our points back. Of course, because he's lower MMR, we can take all of it back, which is frustrating. Anyway, we're going to open up with a different approach here. This is a map where the 1-gate expansion is a lot worse, and thus the best thing that we can do is proxy something very often. Good luck, good luck. Yeah, keep good lucking me, buddy. I know what you're like. I know what this is all about. I already said good luck as well. It's all good. Yeah, I'm just going to proxy my second pylon, I think. Make sure that this pylon can warp something on the low ground. And allows for a battery as well on the low ground, which is pretty important. Very useful. And all of these things together, they will set me up for a pretty decent mid game, as long as I don't get all in most of the time, or as long as my opponent doesn't play a Stargate opener. So I'm pretending to be proxying something, but it's just going to be a single pylon that I will put on the map. My opponent will be looking for that pylon, and if he finds it, then that's good for him. If he doesn't find it, then it's quite bad for my opponent. Because then he might believe that it's either a proxy robo, proxy Stargate, or a proxy gateway. Could technically also be a proxy Twilight Council, but that's a really uncommon build order that we, quite frankly, never see. So I don't think we're going to be seeing it this time. My opponent seems to be doing something similar here. It's not too wild in a PvP, and allows me to show off exactly how you usually want to be dealing with this. So if you're the one playing what I'm currently playing and you're not getting scouted, you're just going to scout around your base, figuring out where that pylon is. That's really just the main goal. So I'm just going to go around here, making sure there's no proxies very far away, and then I'm going to move through the middle, making sure that there's no proxies too close. Stalkers can check the right and the left side, which is going to be super useful. It's also possible my opponent has the same exact proxy as I have, and both of us are now scouting around the map for our opponent's proxy. Well, we're never going to be capable of actually finding that. Actually need this thing over here. Okay, that was a really fast scout, by the way, by my opponent. So I think it's either proxy gate somewhere on the map, or it is not proxy gate, and then it's just a proxy pylon, because it's just slightly too fast for anything else. It could technically be a proxy robo, but that's such an unlikely thing if you put it that close. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that is definitely not it. Watch me scout the proxy robo now. Watch me scout. Nah, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Do I need this? No, I don't really. Don't really need a battery. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just a pylon proxy. That is okay. I am completely fine with that. It's not here though. Ooh, actually I'm getting a little afraid. We'll get a single battery. I am not entirely sure what's happening right now. We'll have to wait and see what my scout is going to give me. Late? Very late. No? 3-gate. No. Nothing being built here. Stargate? Late Stargate. I don't know what it is. I'm just actually completely clueless right now. Like, proper clueless, yeah? Oh, there's no... Wait, there's a Stargate. How did I miss that? I just didn't see it. I'm not just dumb, just can't see. Okay, well, we're going to transfer our workers already. It should be somewhat helpful. Might delay our blink, but maybe it's not even necessary. We're just patrolling this bad boy over here. Allows us to move our stalkers the way we want to. Exactly. Ooh, need to be somewhat careful at least. Is it over here or no? Where's that oracle? I know you have an oracle, buddy. You can't trick me. Well, you can, but I wouldn't like that. But you definitely could trick me. At least you could try to trick me. Going to continue building more stalkers here. We just want more units. Do I still have a probe on the map? I don't think I do. I think I killed that now. On to... There we go. This stalker is the MVP. He shouldn't have gotten that shot off. Actual MVP. Literally the MVP. I killed one. That helps me so much. Because the moment Blink finishes, allows me to start moving on the map as well. It's always important on these maps that your stalkers can easily maneuver behind your mineral line. And I actually kind of messed that up here. So, not super happy with that, obviously. Going to check if there is some type of... maybe a Twilight Council behind this. Or what the... Or like a Dark Shrine, or what the play is. I think I'm just really far ahead though. Like, really far ahead, honestly. So we have good vision as well, we have to admit, of our main base. Not so much of our natural. That means that most likely the damage is going to be in the natural. So we're going to position these two stalkers a little closer to the natural and closer to the main. We indeed see it moving in there right now. Going to start marching across the map. I believe this to be DTs, by the way. I have a very DT-y feeling. DT, go home. No, phone home. No, not go home. But the DTs also should be going home. Nothing to see here, buddy. If there's no blink right now, that means that this third base is going to get cancelled. And it would... Oh my god. Ooh. That's a nice movement. And it would mean that there's DTs on the way. Doesn't quite seem to be the case. A decent chunk of damage there, actually. Yeah, don't really like how this went. Come on, blink down. There we go. Come on, blink away. Took a little bit more damage than we should have, though. Ah. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Not happy with how this went. Not happy whatsoever. Oh, I lost some stalkers in the middle of the map just now. I wasn't paying attention there. I thought I had no more units in the middle. We also lost a lot of workers to that single oracle because we just didn't defend properly. So we actually end up with a pretty painful situation in which we lost a lot of supply in stalkers. We lost a couple of workers. I don't actually know what the infrastructure here of my opponent is. But this did not feel like a very good fight though. Kill! There we go. Two more of these. Get a fort base going as well. Not sure if I'm winning or not. We'll get a prism. Maybe even a cannon over here or something like that. Or maybe we shouldn't get a cannon and just play very aggressive StarCraft. This bad boy is going to join in the prism. Don't think I should have built an Immortal, thinking back of how this game went. I still believe we're in a bit of a lead, but I think we should have been in a way bigger lead, and that's really just my bad. Oh, he was here, wasn't he? I saw you, buddy. I saw some stalkers there, didn't I? I really did. But I don't know where the rest of the army is. I also saw a zealot over here, but I also don't know where that rest is. What's that? Oh. Okay, see this thing coming in, which is big. Okay, it's an interesting run by that my opponent ended up going for. Ooh, don't actually want to lose this game here. Not right now, at least. Going to start moving in, though. Also get a Templar Archives. We have good saturation on these bases. Oh, well, you saw that already. In that case, we're just going to be going in. Oh my god, what a surround! Look at that! Every single one of these is going to die. That was actually perfect play. I'm gonna get some dudes over here. Keep this in this location. And... can I kill this base, maybe? We have +2 coming in soon. And I'm also getting ready to warp in some Archons, which is huge. Is there anything here that can fight me? Oh my god, another surround. Well, not a perfect surround, but good enough, I think. So I'm just attacking this cannon with a couple of zealots, but not with the full force. These probes are taking care of this. Oh, you move back, guys. Don't need anything else there. I think I can just win this game, honestly. Yep, blink forward. Not the prettiest thing I've done in my life, but at the same time we want to kill this as well. So you're always kind of focusing to see, hey, where can my units deal the maximum amount of damage? And obviously these 2 zealots would be great in my army. You know where they're even greater? Exactly, chasing these probes away, because there's no defense whatsoever for these probes. That makes it way better. So you just kind of queue that up. See the upgrades here. Oh, playing double force. Surely that's not going to work. GG. And we have a very solid win. I think this game got mainly decided in the early game. It was a little bit ahead. Despite losing a bunch of workers to the Oracle later on in the game. Which was bad for me. No, actually, I wasn't ahead at all. I was in a terrible spot, it seems like. Huh? But faster Nexus. I was down 5 workers. Maybe my control was just better then. I don't quite know why I won this game, honestly. Felt like I was dead. I mean, I'm down 5 workers. Infrastructure is worse than my opponent. My +1 is the exact same timing. Yeah, I'm actually just kind of dead, honestly. Or not dead, but a considerably worse position. Yeah, I have no clue why I won this. It must have been some macro error. Or something must have gone wrong for my opponent. Some bad multitasking. I guess it was this fight. Where I killed this and then killed a couple of zealots. Now I'm all of a sudden I had 10, 15 supply. I mean, this game still is not over, but it feels a little bit better for me and I have map control. I don't quite understand why I won this game or why I'm up in supply. But, I mean, I'm not going to complain about a win. 19 points in the pocket as well. 6-6-25. And we're going to search another one. Alright, I didn't actually search a game immediately after. But we are here right now against Magic Khan in our 3rd game of the day. Or the 3rd game of today's video, at least. Magic Khan also... also known as a real Gan. I didn't know this. I played him last time. And then the other day he was making fun of me. For calling him the magician or something like that. I can't quite recall what I said about him. But I made fun of him for misspelling the word magician. But apparently this was on purpose. And because he's also called Real Gan, it's now Magic Gan. So a pretty cheesy, I would say. I think that is a fair characterization of my opponent. Pretty cheesy, weird type of player. That just has a lot of different build orders that I haven't really played against yet. And there are a lot of little tricks that he plays as well that he's really familiar with. He's kind of similar to Bly, but more cheesy, I think. Or at least more kind of unique. Bly tends to still somewhat go towards the standard, but I'm not quite sure if that's the case with Magic Gan here. This does seem like a pretty normal hatch timing though, so perhaps not the case today. We'll have to wait and see what's exactly going to be happening. 2K Atmosphere is of course not a map on which you can really be cheesed either. So I kind of do understand why it's wrong. It's a pretty small wall. It's a large rush distance as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things here that don't really help a cheesy Zerg player. It's of course still possible. If you try hard, anything is possible. As long as you believe in yourself. You know, and set your goals wisely. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you like. Yeah. Stacks on deck. Still chasing me with this drone. It's actually extremely expensive for my opponent. I believe it's less expensive, or it's more expensive than even just having every single mineral pushed away by my worker. Rogue also does this a fair chunk, and Cyril also started doing it, so maybe there's something to it, but I still have my doubts. I'd need to do some actual research into it to see how much it would cost compared to me just denying 2 mineral patches completely, imagining that they just wouldn't be doing anything whatsoever against mineral harass. It's always interesting to test these things. Might actually do it after this game, just figure it out, but I'm also not too interested. I don't think I should have chrono boosted this second adept, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, but I did it anyway, so I can't un-chrono boost it. That would be pretty sick if you could, you know, if the chrono boost were basically smaller with less energy. That's kind of what it used to be, right? Back in the day, chrono boost always was active and you could just put it on different buildings. So you could just leave it on a forge or something like that, or you could leave it on a nexus and you get fast pro production. Was pretty cool, but also made it a little bit more brain dead and lower skill. So I like that they changed that. Going to get an orb pad. Wait, there's no third base? I actually kind of need to figure out if there's a third base or not. Okay, now there is a third base. Okay, I'm like literally zero worried right now. I think we're actually playing something that resembles a standard game, and I'm not super familiar, I'll have to admit, with how Ryogan plays, but whenever I played him before, it always was some cheesy crap, so I'm surprised that's not quite the case here. I actually really want to kill this. So I'm going to chase, which it has some risks, you know, chasing here, because speed's about to finish. So if there's like 10 more links on the way, I could lose both of these. But I didn't, so that's good. Oh my god, I missed one shot there. Should have had one more worker kill. Also, I'm a little bit late with my nexus over there. We're going to be continuing to get more... Yeah, this seems about fine. More oracles. We'll go up to 3 right now. Ooh, that's a fast evo chamber. Cool. Also, a very long delay on spores, which is generally considered to be a good thing by most top Zerg players. So, the longer you delay the spore, the more your drone that otherwise would be inside of the spore can still mine. So you just gain a little bit more money. Ooh, that's cute. I don't think I can actually save that thing. No, I can't. I'm really afraid of like some type of 1-1 big push or something like that. I also forgot my Twilight actually, and also my Force. This is not ideal. Pretty decent early game out of my opponent. Not the cleanest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. We're gonna try and kill these two queens, and at the same time we see that we're lacking a spore over here. So not only do we get some queens, we're also going to be killing a couple. We get a decent chunk of drones here now. Tries to push forward, isn't quite working out. I see a drone here at the third. Can I kill it? Yes! Yes, we can. So we have some really fair damage that we dealt to our opponent at this point. I'm going to be going up to 4 gateways. I make sure that I have full vision of my main base. I kill 2 queens and about, what, 4 or 5 workers. I'm just really happy with how this game is going. I'm going to move out on the map with my stalkers as well. Actually, let's do 1 more warp in and then go. And then we immediately, after 8 stalkers, we follow this up with double gases. This is kind of my new way of play, and I've really been liking it. It allows me to actually put on some decent pressure on my opponent. Holy crap, is that really your lair? No way, right? I didn't cancel that, by the way. Just like to point that out to everyone. Always point out the mistakes of your opponent. Never point out your own mistakes, of course. That's one of the first rules of being a YouTuber, streamer, anything where you're public facing, you know? Always oh, I forgot to cancel that. Oh, no, wait, I mean, I wanted that pylon to finish. Almost broke my own rule immediately after discussing my own rule. That would have been a major error. GG. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Just early game simply not good enough out of my opponent. Took too much damage. I killed 21 workers in a 6-minute and 30-second game. That means we get the win here. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We get 5 points, and we'll play one more. Actually, I do like the sound of that. So we're gonna go for one more. See you guys in game number 4. Ooh, get to play against Liquid Calazur, and not only is Liquid Calazur a pretty decent friend of mine, but he's something bigger. He is also a massive, juicy pot of MMR for me. Because he's, I think, something like 6'6". Set? 6'6", 6'6", actually. It's the ultimate devil's number. He does play a little bit like a devil sometimes as well. These Widowmine drops. Very 3-base focused player. Usually with a late third. Very different from the other Liquid Terran. Who right now is only Clem. Uthermal's not on Liquid anymore. And... often I feel like I'm behind, but then I already have a 4th base, and I'm actually kind of okay. It's kind of weird how that works. Like it feels like I'm often okay in more situations than I really should be. And I want to actually try out something rather than playing my standard Stargate here, because I really do feel that my Stargate I am quite good at, but my non-Stargate I'm not so good at. We're going to open up with a robotics facility, and this is an opener that I used to love, let's say 2 years ago, but I haven't been giving it as much love anymore lately. The reason for that is quite simple. It's because, well, it just feels a little bit weaker these days. Well, it feels a fair amount weaker these days. Raven openers are really quite strong against it. You have a bunch of like Widowmine drop openers that can also be good against it. Fast triple CC, even Banshees can feel annoying to deal with. So yeah, there's a lot of things that otherwise are not really viable. But the moment you start playing Robo, all of a sudden these things do become viable. So this seems to me like it's going to be... Oh my god, he got it down? What? That's not okay. That actually was not okay. I'm not okay with that. I can't believe he got that down. I thought because there's only a single SCV down that it was going to be a Marine, but it seems to be a Reaper here as the first unit as well, which is kind of strange. Given that the map is glittering ashes. This is a really difficult map for Terran often to scout on. Even with a Reaper, because you have this free Reaper wall. Like, you do get the information if you jump up here, but then at the same time you also often die. So, you know, it's not a great decision you have to make for yourself. It's like, alright, I'm either going to survive or I'm going to get info. And... well, it seems like right now there's actually no Reaper. At least it's not out yet. It's not going to get this thing, at least, which is important. I'm just going to follow this up with a Robo, like I said. We won't get the Robo in the Reaper wall immediately. I think this might actually be a Marine first into factory type of play. Oh yeah, there we go. Beautiful stuff. Now this is just extremely weak against Stargate, which is pretty much my standard. So I'm surprised to see this. I'm even a bit shocked, honestly, that we get to see this. Oh, that's a kill on the Marine, and I hope that my Adept doesn't end up dying here. I think it might end up dying now. Yeah, pain, 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 pain. Pain, 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 pain. One more gate on the low ground as well. Obviously, it's not going to be quite as useful. I get a quick chrono boost on this bad boy. And then we can decide what to do here. Oh, this is a mistake on my opponent. Please, please, please kill it. I need to kill it. It's very important for me. That actually was extremely important. For the very simple reason that with that kill, it's going to be harder for my opponent to A, spot where my units are, and B, to spot whether I have a third base or not. Which all of these things, they usually are, well, are kind of important. We'll get a fast third base. Get another one of these. We'll put it over here. Allows us to get a little bit of extra vision. We get one. Actually, let's just get double. So we now know that nothing is actually happening over here. This is a weird opener out of my opponent. I just have to admit it. I absolutely have to admit it. We're going to follow this up with a Forge and a Twilight Council. And we're going to be playing a pretty, well, I don't want to say wild, but a pretty weird build order that we don't see too much. He's playing 3 Rex behind this? What? Okay, well. Oh, in that case, I should have played Colossi for sure, but I'm not, obviously. I saw that. He saw this. He's hunting. He's hunting. He's hunting. He's hunting. He's hunting. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. I almost, because of what is being done right now, I almost feel kind of like I want to get Blink and just go into Colossi. So a slightly different approach than maybe I usually would have gotten. Did I just chrono that? Yeah. Not my intention, by the way. We'll get a Robo Bay here. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. I know this is... Wait, you just finished that starport? I didn't even see it start. Holy crap. Starport built fast. That's not a good thing for me. Get some more of these then, huh? So you go here. What did you just chrono? Chrono my natural. Tanks! Oh, there's just one tank, maybe. Still need to be careful of anything that concerns tanks, of course. But because there's no Raven, I can kind of safely play Colossi. This is a really weird start, though. I just have to admit it. I also probably want something in my natural, now that I think about it. Like a cannon, yeah, my mineral line. I probably want something in my main as well. But I ain't having none of that yet, so it's not quite yet ideal. Oh. That was good. Very good trade here initially for me. Oh, he just walked in? Dude, that was brilliant. I honestly love that. But he didn't really micro. Oh my god. Neither did I here, though. Oh my god, what a move! I wasn't paying attention. He walks in. Actually just wins the game. I gotta respect the hustle there. Well, maybe we shouldn't leave quite yet. I was ready to tap out. I'm gonna be real with everyone here. I was super ready to tap out. Okay, now I probably still should tap out. Because I stood in the tank fire a little bit too long. Holy crap, that was a sick move. I love how he did that. I super love that even. There's so many... Yeah, I actually dislike how I played. I'm going to explain it after this, but... I just want to let everyone know... Yeah, they were dead. The reason why I disliked how I played here is because... I think you need to make the blind decision or you need a sentry. So, right now, at like the 420 mark, or slightly later perhaps, is where I actually want to make a decision. I want to make a decision, hey, am I going to go into Forged Twilight or am I going to go into Robo Bay? But my observer isn't quite there yet, so I cannot make an educated decision here. It is simply not possible. The way to fix this is by getting an earlier sentry, but that makes you slightly more vulnerable to things in the early game, of course, which is frustrating. So what I do is I guess on Forged Twilight. I say, okay, I'll play it safe, because if you play Colossi, your opponent plays Raven. You basically insta-lose the game if they know how to micro. So I say, okay, I go Forged Twilight, which in this case was the incorrect call because there was no Raven. And then what I do is I add a Robo Bay, but I add it so late that I don't even have a Colossi for the first push. Because I even after scouting, I take a while. Like, I get it after my Forge, after my +1 and my Blink. I get it a full minute after you usually would get it. Well, I probably could have just gotten it at 5:10 when I scouted it, and maybe I would have had one Colossi out. Would have helped the crap ton against the Marine count. Then on top of that, he walks in over here with two mines, which is a move that you don't really see very often, I have to admit. I could have probably figured it out, because... oh, where did they come from, actually? Oh, they were already here. Never mind, I couldn't have figured it out. Unless I had some type of detection over here. I guess with the observer that I had in this position, could have been more into this location. I could have spotted it, but I was busy force fielding at the same time. Beautiful move, though, out of my opponent. I just have to give it. What a brilliant little trick. these 2 mines. It's going to give me a loss though, that's frustrating, but some good points for me to work on. 21 points down the drain, that means we're going to end today with a lower overall MMR count than we started with, and that's never a good thing, but it is going to be it for today. Thanks all so much for watching. If you want more Road to Rank 1, be sure to check out the playlist. Otherwise, there'll be a new episode for you next week. Thanks, and bye-bye.